am so proud of us, not only because we have survived high school, along with its many trials and tribulations, but because this specific grade 12 class has truly been an honor to grow with. We all have our gifts and have all contributed to making Oscar Romero into what it is today. You are all such incredible people, and each and every one of you should be so pleased with yourselves. You all have greatness within you. Now, whether you've chosen to show it yet is irrelevant. Whether you would label yourself as an actor or an actress, a techie, a musician, an artist, a brainiac, an athlete, or just a normal, everyday person, there's only one label at the end of the day here at Romero. We are all Ravens. You have all made a difference. Your presence here has touched someone along the way, and Oscar would not be the same without you. We are a family, and everything we've been building here together over the last 3 years is so much more than the individual. Alright, so we're gonna flash back to grade 9/10. I remember visiting AOR as a grade 9 student, as I'm sure we all do, scared out of my mind. That morning as I got ready for school, preparing myself for the tour of my life, or so I thought, for some reason, my main concern seemed to center around every high school-based movie featuring some revolting meal that each student was forced to endure daily, prepared by the school cafeteria. I remember praying the stories were lies. Food is, such a critical make-it-or-break-it factor when making choices in the life of a growing teen. Let's get real, guys. We all know it's true. I remember thinking that if the school had edible food, I was pretty close to sold. I saw the evil, bad breath, oversized, mole on her chin, hairnet lunch lady in my mind, serving slots of who knows what. But walking through the doors of Oscar Romero for the first time, I remember feeling this sense of relief as I caught a glimpse of a student walking away from the cafeteria with the most delicious looking poutine I'd ever seen in my life. I looked more closely. I saw no oversized mole on her chin, hairnet, and all gremlin lunch lady, but none other than good old Johnny. Yup, I was sold. I remember walking through the core that day with my class, past the poutine, and then past a gentleman by the name of Mr. Litvak. I don't think I'd ever seen anything so terrifying in my entire life. He was worse than the lunch ladies. I said a little prayer to myself yet again, in that moment of near death, praying that if Oscar wound up being the school of my choice, I would not find myself in any of the Hulk's classes. Now the food won me over, but the whole giant / Navy SEAL / football player / he could kill you with his pinky thing? Yeah, that made things a little more complicated. After careful deliberation, I decided to take the risk. For the food, I told myself, for the food. Sure enough, my first day of high school rolls around. My very first class of the day in grade 10, which of course I was late for, due to the complex structural circular maze-like design of Oscar Romero, just happened to be Math 10 Pure. I see Mr. Litvak through the glass window on the door, sitting in his desk at the front of the classroom, looking almost innocent. Yeah, right. Great. I haven't been here 20 minutes and my life's about to end. I was so young. Why me? My heart raced as he got up to answer the door. I couldn't figure out the look on his face. The whole class was watching every step he made. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I was prepared. I had had a long, happy 15 years. Don't be greedy, I told myself. He answered the door and yelled, "Why so late?" in his deep, booming, angry voice. Then he looked at me and laughed. He laughed. He said, "Just kidding," and returned to his seat. Are you kidding me? I thought to myself. What kind of sick joke is this? So you'll be happy to know, as I stand here today, I survived Litvak's Math 10 Pure class. Although to this day, I'll never understand that man's humor. I'm still quite positive that he's an axe murderer on the side as well. In grade 10, I also had the pleasure of being in Mrs. Birak's English class. I still remember the first time she whipped out her infamous, "Oh yeah, yeah." From that moment on, although a little confused, I had an everlasting respect for that woman. So just to summarize life as a grade 10 student, you're always wrong and no one likes you. Now on to grade 11. You know, you're no longer at the bottom of the food chain. You're clear that if you're too slow and clog up the hallways, a grade 12 will most likely sit on you. You finally get to call the grade 10s annoying just because you aren't one anymore. You're also feeling a lot more comfortable in high school, and you're getting a lot more involved. A bunch of students signed up to raise money for Khalifi and fasted together for 24 hours at the school. We all spent the night and drank soup broth until 8 a.m. where we were finally served a gourmet breakfast, which was completely wiped out in a grand total of 2.5 seconds. We still remember slapping one another in the face at 5 a.m. trying to keep everyone awake. Now that was a struggle, but so worth it. The sumo wrestling in the gym, guys, I don't know how many of you tried that. I don't know how many of you actually participated in that, but even the joys of watching, people just got flattened, myself included. Now that is definitely one way to release stress after writing one of Iser's math exams, or trying to decode Mr. Fowler's previous bio class, from Fowler English to English that actually makes sense in Canada. Or maybe even release after one of Mr. Demaray's PE classes, pretending that the opponent you're squishing beneath you is the king himself. That must feel good, eh boys? The annual fashion show Oscar presents every year was also quite the experience. Seeing more and more students excited and willing to share their talents with the school was truly something remarkable. This again was shown in Romero's famous Fine Arts Night. What a night to remember. Not only the musicians killing it up on stage, but the artists putting paint to paper, sharing their gifts with the audience. Grade 11 was definitely a year of firsts, conquering fears, and in the world of sports, conquering opponents. Our senior ladies soccer and basketball teams coming away from 2 well-fought seasons with 2 brilliant banners, which are hanging in Romero's gym as we speak. The boys' teams trailing close behind. Our boys were exceptionally strong, but came up a win or two short in the end. Regardless, we are oh so proud of them. All our Oscar Romero athletes, you've made us all so proud. The banner won by our very own cheer team also hangs in the AOR gym. These ladies also took home the gold after a well-cheered season. A year of firsts, victories. Our school had many outstanding surprises. Grade 11 was all about trying new things, putting yourself out there, and showing everyone what you were made of, your true colors, what you could bring to Romero. Truly an exciting time. Now grade 12. All right, my friends, grade 12, the final year of our journey together. I sure hope you made the best of it, not taking even the smallest moment for granted. Moments like the Susicle, which were performed by another group of Romero's finest. Such an entertaining production, so many talented students deserving so much recognition. I can still recall the Cat in the Hat's red hat placed simply in the center of the stage with the spotlight hovering over it for the open. What simplistic perfection. Now, speaking of simplistic perfection, I don't know how many of you have had the privilege of being taught by the lovely Miss Dubik, but if you have, you're aware that Dubes tends to be a little bit of a klutz, let's say, in a simplistically perfect way, of course. Her PE 30 class have been witnesses many a time. PE 30 students were studying cycling. Dubik is, well, a show-off, for lack of better words. Show-off for lack of better words, and sometimes she deserves to be, but other times, not so much. Coach Dubik is riding around the gym on one of the bicycles. You can tell she's pretty pleased with herself, feet strapped in and all, and there she goes, round and round. Finally, the time comes where Coach Dubik decides she wants to stop. Let me paint this picture for you. She's gliding around the gym, losing momentum, and as she goes to plant her feet down, she's reminded of the straps holding her feet in place. Now, rather than asking for some help, Coach decides to ride her bicycle straight into the brick wall of the gym. She hits the wall dead on, bounces, and topples right over, her feet still attached to the bike. Her face kind of looked like Mr. Del Percio's while sharing a conversation with him. She was trying to speak, but her eyes just kind of kept closing in between each burst of laughter, which in Mr. D's case would have been a blank, lifeless stare. His whatever face, you know? You kind of started to wonder if she just wanted to sleep it off or if she needed medical attention. After the PE 30 students had gained control of their laughter, Dubik unattached her feet. She stands up like nothing had happened. How embarrassing. What a secret. I'm so glad we kept it to ourselves. Now, unlike Doobie being slightly clumsy, we were presented with the surprise of a new principal. Now, we all know who the legendary Mr. Warwa is, and we have welcomed him into our family with open arms, maybe even come to respect the man. But I'm telling you, when news broke loose that our beloved Oscar was to be placed in the hands of a backstreet boy with frosted tips, this raised some genuine concerns. But obviously the truth of the matter is, we're all very blessed to have known Mr. Warwa and are very thankful for the good care he's taken of our home. I think the moment that exemplified our gratitude most clearly was during the water war our grade 12s held during the final day of school. where Mr. Warwa was drenched with water at the front of the entrance. Thank you, Mr. Warwa. The look on his face was priceless. Good times. Moments like these are we gaming Red Robins during lunch hour, our Romero dance crew, our mascot, our road hockey tournaments, our fundraisers for the less fortunate, our cultural celebrations, our athletic awards banquet, where this year we presented 10 Iron Ravens, our camping trips, our celebration of Shakespeare's birthday, aka Mr. Fowler Wear Tights Day, our graduation. These moments, these memories, these are the times that make grade 12 so amazing. The kings and queens of the school, our present moments became anything we wanted them to be. Home, such a suitable name for Oscar Romero. But as much as I have cherished my time here with you all, there were, as I can assume there were for all of you, times where I just felt ready to leave. Times where I just wanted to start my life. I was foolish in thinking I was tired of high school. I thought I was ready to get out. And now high school is finally over, and just as I finally find myself free, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Walking through the front doors of AOR, through the core, passing by each and every one of you every day was a privilege. Now finally, as we are free to go, I find myself hanging on for dear life. Hanging on to all the memories, all of the friendships we have cherished here. I know I do not stand alone when saying Oscar Romero has shaped and molded me into the person I am today. The past 3 years of our lives have been filled with excitement and happiness, fun, laughter, and hard work. They have been filled with hard times, times that have taught us and strengthened us as people. We have been taught so many life lessons, lessons that will remain with us for all of time. Oscar has some huge shoes to fill. High school terrified us, my friends. This time it's the real world. Later in life, we will face larger obstacles. We will overcome, and graduation will be a fond memory. It's so bittersweet. As we approach the real world, we must remember those who have prepared us, the teachers, coaches, family members, friends, peers. As fearful as we may feel, we must remember we are ready. We can handle anything this big old world decides to throw at us. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I believe that with faith, all things are possible. Have faith in your God and in yourselves and in your destiny, and your life will have no limitations. A good friend once told me to live my life with no worries and with no regrets. Proverbs 3:3 says, "Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Write them deep within your heart. Be the best you can be." So go, my friends, it is the start of an age. Live the lives you were meant to live. I hope your dreams take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. Go strong and go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Congratulations, my beloved Raven family, class of 2012. I wish you all the very best. Tonight is ours. God bless.